Welcome to Hands-on IT. It's video number 9. Today I will virtualize existing physical machine and use this image to create a VM in Hyper-V. And as usual, the first step is to make sure the disk is clean and run SFC scan now to confirm there's no corruption. But first, let's download the tools necessary for this job. It's called disk to VHD. We're using vhdx to virtualize. Virtualizing means converting a physical image to a virtual machine, a virtual disk. It's called P2V. Now we're running check disk and SFC scan now. It's running in read-only mode, so it's perfectly fine. You just want to confirm there are no issues. If you see any problems in bad sectors or any physical damage on the drive, you can try to run check disk with a force switch to repair either F or R or both, F and R. I will discuss tools, disk, VM, Windows, server, AD tools at the end of this project. Okay, there's no corruption. That's, again, this is a physical machine. It's a physical laptop running Windows 11. Let's start a virtualization process. I have 3 partitions. We saw them a second ago. System, boot partition, and recovery partition. I will include all 3. Pick your options. I'm leaving everything default. As always, I'm using temp folder. I will store my virtual image inside that temp folder. I'm switching to vhdx. Name doesn't matter as long as you know. Let's create the image. I'm going to fast forward. And let's see how our image is growing. A piece of advice, BitLocker. If you have it enabled on the drive, try to disable it. It will cut down on time needed to virtualize your drive. And it's done. 64 gigabytes. So you can mount the image to look inside to see folder structure. To confirm files and folders are accessible, just click on any folder just to make sure it will show you the contents. Okay, the virtualization part is done. Let's eject it to make sure it's not mounted. And now we will create a VM and attach this drive. Just to confirm, we have the drive. It's under C temp2 or temp, doesn't matter. As always, unlock it. Today is a very simple and short video. Virtualization is a very simple process, yet very handy. You can use, to virtualize, you can use Linux, you can use VMware, Hyper-V. Hyper-V is free. Okay, now we will create a virtual machine and attach the drive. give it a name. I'm picking generation 2. As always, 8 gigs. This is a different computer, so I don't have my custom switch, but it's okay. For this exercise, it's enough. Now creating a new drive, I want to attach now. Since I have it already, I'm going to point to my vhdx drive. Next. Finish. I think it's a wonderful solution. Let's start the VM. Check the drive. Make sure Windows is booting up. Again, anytime you make any changes to the disk structure to virtual machine, you disconnect or reconnect the drive, run check disk, and run SFC scan now. Adjust resources of your virtual machine and start the VM. That's it. I have my VM up and running. The background is the same. This is Windows 11. Let's confirm. Change the name, confirm your resources. The OS is 11. Now, one thing you have to understand, you have to activate Windows. So you will need a serial number or the key because it's a different machine. In an enterprise, it's usually not a problem. If you have volume license or you have spare licenses, you can use it. Once activated, yeah, Windows is up and running. And again, I already mentioned that. It's a new VM, newly virtualized disk, new VM, check disk, and run SFC. So you basically run it before you virtualize to avoid any issues with corruption. You don't want to virtualize problems. Once you connect the drive that's already virtualized, you run it again. I hope you get the concept and why we're doing this. Device manager, confirm there are no drivers. All drivers are installed, drivers are not missing. Congratulations, you just successfully virtualized physical machine and built a VM based on that virtualization. This is the last video about the client. Next is the domain controller. Subscribe and see you in the next video.